And that was the national anthem of Samoa, and a very rousing rendition. We go now to the New Zealand national anthem on rugby.com.au. Well, there it was, everybody, live on rugby.com.au. And with us up here, Tony Hanks, General Manager of High Performance for the Auckland Blues. Tony, how are you, mate?
Yeah, very good. Certainly put the weather on, and looking forward to a really physical encounter.
Well, certainly better than the other day, and that is for sure. As we'll quickly look at the team sheets before we get into the Hakas and the Samoan dance as well. And New Zealand, they've made 12 changes here today, Tony. I think it's just a matter of selection here for this New Zealand side.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what you've got is the team that played against Fiji really set a high standard. So the challenge has been set out to these guys that are coming in today. Really big backline, big physical backline for the New Zealand side today.
Yeah, and of course, the Samoan side, not too many changes there. The only one of note was Lolesio comes in to start. He came off the bench last week.
Yeah, I think with the Samoan team, look out for Jerry Samanir and Afi Ilamia, the two props. They've been part of the New Zealand trial process, so they'll have a point to prove. And the two wingers, Lossi Filippo and Tanielu Talia.
We go now to the Haka. Well, there we see it, the Haka of New Zealand. And here comes the Samoan reply. We're looking forward to this, Tony.
Yeah, I watched them practice it yesterday, so there'll be a bit of feeling here as well.
And what a reply that was from the Samoan side. In response to the New Zealand Haka, it's going to be referee Roccabarini out there adjudicating today, and it promises to be a big open affair with New Zealand. We spoke to Craig Philpott earlier on, and he said they're going to try and stick more to the structure for the entire game this time, Tony. Yeah, well, they certainly did that in the first half on Friday night. Really impressed with their structure and the players understanding their roles, and I thought they really mixed up their contact and their offloading game really well. Yeah, they certainly will be, and it will be a Samoan kickoff running right to left on your screens at home on rugby.com.au, and of course the Oceania webpage and YouTube page for all our viewers at home. It's going to be a big physical encounter with both sides holding no quarters. We saw earlier on there. And the New Zealand bench coming from the field now. Referee Roccabarini blows time on, and here we go. Showtime here in the Oceania Under-20s Championships, and that is a nice high restart there for the Samoan side. They come up with it and bundled into touch early on. Amua taking the player in the air. So penalty early on. And Samoa had the opportunity the other night. They put a few points on the board of the Australian side. And will they look to try and do this right now? Yeah, I know they were happy with parts of their game against Australia and probably looking for a bit more consistency. I know the set piece has been a real focus for them building into this game as well. Yeah, they're going to go for goal there, and the captain in Filippo. It's not often you see the captain being the winger, is it, Tony? Not often, but he's certainly well respected in this group. He was running a lot of the warm-ups and clarity stuff in the team run, and spoke really well actually, and I thought was certainly leading by example. He certainly was. And in the 15 jersey to take the conversion is a tough one. It's 5 in from touch, about 30 out. Here live at Bond University. And the crowd is hushed. As he comes in, strikes the ball, it's coming around, but that breeze, it's just picked up at about 3 o'clock here. Right on kickoff, Tony, so it may affect. We saw it howling the other night, but it's not as strong as that here today. No, just a light breeze at the moment. If anything, with my extensive 3-day knowledge, it may get a little bit stiffer, but no, it won't be a factor at the moment. It's the Burley Bluster, they call it, I think, Tony, here on the Gold Coast, and that's a nice deep restart by New Zealand. Looking to play in the Samoan half. The kick and chase early on, backing himself, almost coming up with it. Well, Lucio, he's a Bond University product himself here. A good run there by Coxon. He was strong the other night. A good defence in the face. That was Palali. The Samoan side looking to really rush this New Zealand attack. The cutout ball, there was a touch on it. But now New Zealand have a bit of space on the far side. So they go wide early on. And this time it's Slade who came to the side late, did Slade. So the gap opens up early on, and here comes New Zealand. There's support on the outside. They can't go with it. Directly it was. Just couldn't get his hands around it, but they'll play on. The referee saying the ball went backwards. Here's Farrell. Farrell making a bit of a break. There's space both sides, and they go. Nareki looking to start something himself, gets a ball away. This time it's Choke coming into the side here today. Farrell's at the back. He picks and drives. Takes a few with him. He's about a metre short here at Bond University, and they're going for the line. And that's a try. Picking and driving. And in the end, they did it quite easy, didn't they, Tony? Yeah, right, Coxon again, he got it down the other night as well. So, yeah, look, Samoa just going to have to be a lot more accurate in defence. They had some really good defensive phases, and then
on the back of the Mātui break, just started to panic a little bit, fall off a couple, and New Zealand quite direct and very patient.
Yeah, they were stretched wide on the far side, weren't they? And that sort of got the New Zealand side on the roll. There's Mātui now. We saw Falcon the other night. He was exemplary in his kicking, wasn't he?
And in the conditions too. You know, I'm not sure if the footage sort of really showed just how difficult they were.
We'll see the replay there.
So, look, and Sharan's a very capable goal kicker. He's come out of the New Zealand schools, played first 15 for 3 years, and he's a very talented player and a good goal kicker, and he'll take confidence from that break that led to the try as well.
And he hits that, it comes around, and he hit that nice and straight. We didn't see any curve on it. The kickers these days, they like to put a bit of fancy stuff on it, but that went straight between the sticks. So the first try of the game, and it's 7-0 here on rugby.com.au. This Oceania Under-20s tournament, great job by Oceania as we see the restart here. They put on a wonderful tournament here on the Gold Coast. And that one goes up again. The Recce can't go with it. Here comes Samoa. Solomona picks up the scraps. They go wide straight away. Samanea. Sau taking a few with him, wrestling to the turf. They've got options, they're wide. Looking to make some inroads outside there in the centre channel. Pasami it was that time. Hailing from the Rebels. And that's a penalty. They're in kicking distance again here. Do you think they're going to take the shot here, Tony?
Yeah, look, Ricky Ine hit the first one pretty well, so might take some reward. It's certainly an area that New Zealand struggled in the first game, and both restarts here they've failed to take, and Samoa have taken advantage of those. So I think that will certainly be an area of concern for Craig Philpott.
Yeah, very aggressive as well off those restarts, the Samoan side. Zene gets the call from the captain, Filippo. Let's try and take the points here, take some ground off this New Zealand side. They can't afford, if it does in fact happen, to let them get out too much, can they?
No, and if you can take some reward from some good play, it certainly will give them some confidence. There's a lot of guys probably with a bit of a point to prove, but it's amazing how many players in both teams will know each other, having played in the last couple of years at school, either with or against each other.
So Ine on the far side, lining it up. Comes in, hits it, it looks nice. And the flags go up, so Samoa on the scoreboard. And the crowd, predominantly Samoa at the moment, at this point in time, they love it, Tony.
Yeah, it's a good crowd, actually. You can see a lot of people here. Obviously, a lot of Samoans and Kiwis sort of live in this part of the world, so... And I noticed that quite a few people have travelled over to watch as well.
So it'll be the New Zealand under-20 side to restart here. And they go deep again, so tactically looking to play in the Samoan 22. Now Mātui looking to restart on the counter here. There's a bit of space. Nareki getting the ball now to Eno. Has a bit to do, and Filippo, the captain, picks him up and drives him into the turf. They go short again. This time Coxon can't hold the ball. So first scrum of the day here. And we're 7 minutes in.
Yeah, this will be really interesting. But you just see New Zealand really comfortable on getting that width quite quickly. Braden Eno's just returned from injury. He'll be one to watch. He's a big man. He's quick. But really good defence on him by Lossi Filippo there.
Yeah, Munga Jensen as well. Playing in the 12 jersey here today. We saw him last year play a bit of outside centre as well.
Yeah, and he's played a bit of 6 as well. He's comfortable on those. So, Thomas has come back from a long injury as well. Certainly one to watch.
Oh, good scrum by the New Zealand under-20s, and that will be a penalty. Everybody patting themselves on the back, and everybody, the New Zealand staff, will be happy with that one.
Yeah, absolutely, because, there's a lot of respect for the two Samoan props, having been part of the program, and but they certainly... set the standard there, and you can see Asafra Amua who was part of the team last year, and he's a bit of a rock star really, and he'll be leading that front row.
Yeah, we mentioned him last Friday night. Plenty of big raps on him coming through. Samoa.
Yeah, he's every time you watch him play, he's consistently very good, and he consistently has an impact on the game, and he's certainly got a really big future.
As Mataue looking to extend the lead again. It'll take them to 10-3 if he's successful. It's a wonderful tournament here on the Gold Coast. Of course, we do have another game coming up next on rugby.com.au where the Australian 20s will take on the Fijian side. So get along to Bond. It's free entry here tonight. Or watch live on rugby.com.au. And this one's kicked and it's not going to come around. So unlucky with that attempt. Looking to play the ball straight there. And unfortunately, the wind didn't take it as he may have hoped.
No, and Sharan tends to kick the ball quite straight, but didn't quite get right through that one.
So NA with the restart, calling his players back behind. We saw a penalty for that there the other night. And that one kicked over the top. It's nicely placed in the end. Didn't look good off the boot, but now Mataue looking to feed out wide as two bumping around a couple. Nice run there by the number 8. And they go short side. Here's Amunga Jensen. Rolling out of a couple. Sam Caird. You can't miss him with a big red head. Lock as he's held up by some good defence there by the Samoan side. As they look to continue to drive on New Zealand side, but the referee blowing the whistle. So nice defensive effort there in their own 22 by the Samoan under-20s. Yeah,
really good defence there, getting the ball held up, but they're going to need to really do a good job. The likes of Marino McAuley too, who was part of the team last year, big ball carrying number 8. Thomas Umunga Jensen. There's some real ball carriers in this New Zealand team, and Samoa are going to have to be accurate and chop them pretty quickly.
As we see scrum getting set, better effort this time by the Samoan side, but forced to dive on it there was Tine, the halfback, so they're going to probably look to pick and drive here if it's not a turnover. But it's a penalty, so lucky to get out of that one there, the Samoan side.
Yeah, certainly we're a bit better scrum, and so I think obviously the concentration and a bit more prepared for that one, and probably lucky to get that penalty.
The ball kicked downfield, good distance on the kick. You can see already, as opposed to the other night, the wind definitely not playing effect here.
I was impressed with Ricky Ine the other night too. His counter-attack ability. Watching him at train, he's a local boy from Samoa. Really good leader, speaks well. So looking forward to watching him play.
That's a flat ball off the line out. They come up with it. Tine goes across field. Olacio looking to play wide. They're playing very flat here, the Samoan side. And a little bit isolated there on the fringes. As now NA comes into acting half. Looking for the box kick. He kicks it down deep. They're looking to counter here, and they do exactly that. Caleb Clark on the far side, as that may be called for offside. Yeah, the advantage being waiting for a knock on for a scrum. I thought he may have just infringed there, Tony.
Yeah, obviously first look at Caleb Clark, able to get in and have a bit of a run. Some interesting matchups actually. Braden Enor and Okameni Pasami actually played in the Blues under-18s together before Okameni moved to Melbourne. And Tanielu Talia and Caleb Clark are actually really good friends and have played a lot of rugby together. So some very personal matchups out there.
And do you think they get personal out there too? Or is it strictly rugby?
It's got to be personal.
Oh, the ball spinning out the side there. Oh, nice awareness, but the referee is going to pull it back there. Rocco Barani has got the officiating duties out there in the centre here today. Doing a great job for Oceania Rugby.
Yeah, a bit more pressure from that Samoan scrum. Obviously, didn't like what happened in that first one, and a lot more focus now.
And it's a big opportunity for both sides to get themselves, yourself being high performance manager for the Auckland Blues. How much do tournaments like these go into sort of selecting the next generation as the ball comes out? Oh, nice run there again. Clark, he's a big man on the far side. So trying to counteract there the Samoans and Matawi. Oh, big hit. Filippo coming off his wing, but still going there. McKay stepping inside, some big defence. The captain coming off his wing. But now they've got some quick ball and it opens up. Price, he's cut down in the end. 22 out. Now the ball goes wide. There's plenty of space. Oh, bumping off, it's Amua. He's caught about 5 out though. They'll probably play tight here, the New Zealand sides. We saw the other night as Jacobson takes one. Picking and driving from the back is Caird. Getting the ball free. They're close. They're picking, they're driving. They're held up though. Nice defence by the Samoan side. Wide now, and that is going to be a try. Eno over for his first.
Yeah, good patience by the New Zealand side. There was some big hits that went in defensively from the Samoan sides, but the New Zealand boys rode the contacts, and they were accurate and just kept the phases going, and the space opened up for Braden Eno on the wing.
Yeah, very well controlled by Carlos Price, wasn't it, from the back? And he summed it up nicely, went wide, and Eno had no one to beat in the end.
No one. And, look out for Carlos Price. He's a year young, so he's under 19, and combining with Mato, he's both straight out of school, and was actually Carlos Price's sort of little break and challenging that guard defence that sort of started the momentum for the New Zealand side.
Tough kick from the sideline for Matawi. You can see behind him the breeze definitely has picked up here again. And he strikes it, and he strikes it nicely. And the flags go up. So the score now moves to 14-3. So 16 down, 14-3. Samoans defending nicely. However, just the structure of the New Zealand side proving the difference at the moment.
Yeah, and I just think their patience too. You know, when they've got the ball, there's no panic, and they know if they can get through it a few phases, they're going to put the Samoan team under pressure.
Well, that ball bouncing forward again off the restart, so New Zealand not quite getting it right here at the moment. Off the kickoff. It's the only fault we can pick, I guess, if we're going to pick something out of this New Zealand under-20s game at the moment.
And certainly you know that they'll be picking it out. They set pretty high standards, especially around the detail and the small parts of the game. And that restarts and aerial's certainly going to be a focus.
Satine has the ball and going early there, and that's really unfortunate as they're going to have a chat out in the centre. So early bind. Here's the call by referee Rocco Barini.
Yeah, plenty of feeling at scrum time. Lots of individuals, looking to prove a point.
As I was saying before, how important are these tournaments, yourself being high performance manager for the Blues, in selecting the players of the future coming through?
Oh, look, certainly really important. That's why we're here, one, to support the guys from the area, but to see how they go at that next level and, how they deal with tournament and pressure of playing for their country.
So Margaret Jensen with a good run there, setting up on the outside now for Clark. And Clark, we've seen him get away from a couple so far. This time he's brought down 30 out. And again, this Samoan defence is really in the face. And Filippo coming off his wing on the far side, making that tackle trying to get his troops fired up as Slade. Taking a bit to pull down their centre field. Matoe, the ball almost intercepted as Nareki has support on the outside. And he's brought down about 15 out. As they go wide, juggled midfield. Mikale too, this time is brought down, but that's going to be the Samoan penalty. So mistakes for both sides at the moment.
Caleb Fa'alili in there, and he's a real leader around that defence. He tackles well, good line speed, and he is good over the ball. But you can see the intent of the Samoan side. They want to get that line speed, but each time they miss a tackle, it's certainly going to put some pressure on with the skill set of this New Zealand side.
Cameron's missed that, but you may have heard the crowd. Someone caught that one-handed no look and kept the beer in his hand.
Sign him up.
Off the back there, it's popped. Not really any need to, and that ball's punched downfield. And over the head of McKay, they're looking for the counter. As they keep going, and McKay with plenty of room. McKay winds up. Can he get away from one and get the ball inside? And this is going to be a very good try for Carlos Price.
Yeah, Josh McKay, he's very well known for his speed. He plays 10 and fullback. And you just saw there, Will Jordan set a pretty high mark on Friday, but Josh McKay obviously accepting the challenge and showed some real pace to set that up.
Didn't he show some toe as we go here, the replay, the kick. Going in field, over his head. We saw the shot in shot there by our producers. But look at the swerve, the step.
Yeah, and a good finish, and like every good nine, right on the shoulder for the support. But you also see, and I think because these players do know each other, Tanielu Talia had to stay out because he knows how good Caleb Clark is, and sort of look for the inside to pick up Mackay, and but he's just too quick.
So 21-3 now is the score. We've still got about 18 minutes to play in this half. Yeah. It's been very good. It's been played at a rapid pace here today.
Yeah, it has. And the New Zealand guys probably aren't as slick as they were on Friday, but unfortunately for Samoa, even the loose passes are sort of bouncing in the direction of the black jerseys, and they're getting some real good second chances off some of the loose passes.
Yeah, that black jersey must be magnetic at all levels, I think, Tony. It seems to always go that way. That's a better restart completion there for the team in black, the 20s from New Zealand, as they go wide straight away. Here's Clark on the outside, getting away from the couple, getting around his man. He's winding up now, Clark. And inside, outside, that is individual brilliance on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, and I think a few people, and I know Caleb's got a bit of family here as well, and that's certainly what he's capable of. And he's been part of the New Zealand secondary schools for a couple of years, and obviously got another one touted with a big future. But you just saw his footwork and his genuine pace here as the ball goes wide to him, and you just see him accelerate and the ability to come off both feet.
Yeah, he's so quick. Our camera guys could hardly keep up with him there, Tony.
Yeah, look, and athletics is a big part of Caleb's preparation. He's competed well and done well in regional athletics and stuff, and probably obviously was anyone. His father was an All Black, and that always sets certain expectations and pressure on young men. But Caleb certainly handled that really well, and really forging his own career and reputation now.
Yeah, it definitely is, and this will be another Samoan restart as the score is now out to 28-3. So this is another lovely high restart. Gee, they've been on the money there, haven't they? And that time, Sam Caird is on the money himself as Choke takes a nice carry up the field. Yeah, Price there. He just milked the penalty, really, didn't he? He caught them offside. And like all good halfbacks, he was probably in the referee's ear as well.
Of course. It's really important, I think, now for Samoa to try and keep their structure, keep their discipline, and play to their processes as opposed to worrying too much about what the scoreboard's saying at the moment. Otherwise, it will have the potential of blown out.
So you see Matoi there, he's talking to Nareki, so expect Nareki to take one up, and here he goes, Nareki. And Filippo coming off his wing to meet him. It's been a good battle out there. And Enor taking a nice hit up there. The ball stuck. The Price gets it out in front. May be called a knock on. Yeah, referees playing advantage here at Bond University.
Yeah, some good defence there by Pasami and Lossi Filippo. Geez, he's sort of defending everywhere, isn't he?
He's coming off his wing quite a lot here, a fair bit. As we're going to take a bit of time off as Tine is receiving some treatment in back play. 28-3 the score on rugby.com.au. Of course, get to rugby.com.au for all your rugby news across Australia. Doing a great job there, the team. Of course, the match produced by Bar TV Sports. As we see a replacement early on there, 22 coming on, RC. Maybe coming on. It doesn't look like Tine may take any further part in this.
Yeah, both halfbacks by the looks, and that'll impact. Godne Tine is really important to the Samoan team and the way they attack, and he's obviously been doing the restarts and everything. Very skillful young player, and see Carlos Price has also been replaced there by Kamara Hauiti Parapara,
yes,
who played really well on Friday.
Yeah, he was certainly one of the shining lights of this New Zealand under-20 side. Take nothing away from Price. I was impressed with him early on.
Yeah, certainly a strength of this New Zealand team at halfback, and they've also got Eddie Inare in the wings, who's been part of the Crusaders mix. So certainly a strength of this team.
Oh, good scrum by the New Zealand side, forcing the turnover. Matoi turning back on the inside, and this could be a try. Umaga Jensen gets another for this New Zealand under-20 side.
Yeah, and look, for those people that have watched Thomas Umaga Jensen come through Scots College and now with Otago, that's something that we've become to expect. He's just a real powerhouse and runs that cut line really well. See here, Matoi's drifting across, and you can't give Umaga Jensen that much space. He is very, very powerful.
Yeah, what's impressive, not only with this midfield starting today, but just the height and the power of this New Zealand under-20s, the 12 and 13. It's remarkable.
Yeah, it is. And you've got Umaga Jensen and Braden Enor returning from injury. You had Ledger and Tamati Tua play quite well on Friday, so plenty of competition for spaces in that New Zealand midfield this year.
As we see Mitch Chapman there, former Australian Super Rugby player. He's now got the gig with the referee, so he'll be marking Rocco Perini solidly. And that is a bit more flutter, that restart there, as they get up and under it through Slade, and Slade keeps those legs driving up the field. Looking to blitz the attack there, the New Zealand under-20 side. May have jumped the gun, but referee isn't playing advantage. But it's stolen there. So here they come now, the New Zealand side. Here's Michaeli too. Now looking to play wide again. Umaga Jensen stepping off his left and running into a wall of Samoans. Here's Michaeli too. Using some footwork of his own, getting him up towards the 22. Matoi trying the crossfield kick and goes out of the grasp of Filippo. Wasn't the best option there, Tony, but it'll be a line out here for Samoa, and it will be tested as I'd expect New Zealand to compete.
Yeah, not sure if Safra Amua called the cross kick, he probably would have backed himself with ball in hand. But you saw there Adrian Choate, again, the 7 position after we saw Christie play, Dalton Papali, Adrian Choate there with a really good turnover and reminding the selectors that he's in the mix too.
Yeah, Samoa just getting on that. RC forced to dive on it, so they're forced to exit with a clearing kick off the back of that line out, not finding too much distance. It's a very good attacking opportunity again for New Zealand under 20s. Well, they went to Munga Jensen this time. You think Enor is putting his hand up here?
Well, certainly all want the ball.
So Para was looking for some quick ball there, but it's going to be a Samoan penalty. And RC was looking to kick the line, but NA says, give the ball here. I'm going to get some distance on this, and that he does, getting them up towards the halfway. Nice clearing kick.
Yeah, it was a good kick.
As you said, he's been impressive for the Samoan side.
Yeah, he has been, and I think the Samoa just need the next couple of plays, nice and simple, be accurate, and get themselves back in this game.
And that comes off the top. Nice work, and they go wide straight away. Here's Ben Sow. Had a couple of good runs early on. That was another run up against a wall of black defence. And that's a penalty, so a couple of piggyback penalties now for New Zealand. Up the field comes Samoa. They need to make headway out the back of this, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And again, they'll probably back themselves, get a good kick for touch here, and just keep putting a bit of pressure on and build some confidence through, good set piece and building a few phases.
So the ball kicked high, far and wide, but it doesn't find touch. It's not what they needed, and that's probably the first time New Zealand hasn't counter-attacked, and when you can clear it like that, why would you?
That's right. Look, and Josh Mackay, because he's played a lot of rugby at 10, he is a strong kicker of the ball.
Ball comes off the top. RC, little bit of space down the short side and puts his foot out. He's exciting, RC.
Yeah, he certainly seems to prefer the run option and pretty sharp there.
We're getting the producers to check, but I think he may have been part of the force set up in the Super Under-20s, RC. Coming off the bench for them. And they've got the short side stacked here. Oh, nice inside ball, and Jacobson, the captain, is hit. It's some great defence. Solomona, 6 on 6.
Yeah, and
nothing better.
Yeah, and Solomona there, he's good size, good shoulder contact there. It'd be good to see the Samoan back row sort of, get into the game a little bit more with Solomona. Ben Sow, he's a good carrier, and obviously Caleb Failili, he complements them really well with both ball carry but also defence.
So as we said before, both halfbacks being replaced. There's RC again, all the scrum going down. Here's Filippo coming off his wing, not making much distance, going across field, but now straightening up and getting them over the halfway. A little knock on at the back, RC just clutching for the ball there.
Yeah, and that'll be frustrating for them. You could see Lossi Filippo was certainly targeting that 10 channel. He's a big, strong boy, and as captain, he's obviously trying to motivate his guys and get really involved in the game.
Looking to mark up here, the New Zealand have that left side stacked. A good scrum as they go towards the right. McKay's on the outside, dummies, goes himself, gets out of one, and here comes Jacobson looking for support. Brought down, the ball spits out, McKay picks up from the back, looking for some sort of opening. As they go wide again. Nice ball by Matawi. Munga Jensen was brought down. Body's in the way. Matawi now going to McKay, who straightens the attack again. Nareki calling for it, but they go behind to Matoi, and he chips and chases for himself. Now there's a bit of space down this short side, but Nareki comes up with it. Little grubbing kick in behind. Probably needed to settle down there, Tony.
Yeah, a bit of panic there. I think they were expecting some sort of advantage or something.
Here's Amua. Nice run up the field. He's hard to put down, the big number 2. Here's the captain. Ooh, can't get the ball away. It was close. Jacobson had a couple off his hip. Oh, flick pass to Nareki. Flick pass on the inside. That is as good as you'll see. Slade goes over.
Yeah, the New Zealand team certainly chancing their arm, and like we said before, you know, they are getting a bit of luck here and there with the ball, bounce of the ball, or in that case off someone's back. And but again, you know, just real positive intent about the way they're playing, and you know, probably disappointing with that kick from Samoa once they had got the chance. You know, they defended quite well.
Well, the replay here tells it all. Jacobson sets the play up, didn't push the pass. Oh, look at the flick pass by Parapara, Nareki, and Slade goes over.
Yeah, and they actually mixed up their offloading quite well on Friday too, so they're certainly encouraging it. You know, and in general, their decision making around their offload's been pretty good.
Well, it's the flamboyance of youth, isn't it? Just backing themselves.
Yeah, and it's to be encouraged. You know, I think, you know, we obviously coach, you know, a lot of decision making around the offload, but there's certainly an intent to get the offload and the continuity game going.
A couple of serious faces there on the bench. It's 42-3. You'd think there'd be some smiles, Tony.
No, there's always something to work on.
So another restart here. On the Samoan side, they'll be looking forward to half-time with about 5 remaining. Just to regroup. They put in a good account of themselves here. So penalties to Samoa, and we'll see if they can get going off the set piece here. If they go for the line, we've seen a couple of sides go for goal in this situation. We saw the other night.
Yeah, we saw Fiji go for goal, but Ricky Ine's decided that him and Lossi Filippo will have a crack at the line out.
And the Samoan coaching staff, they really want this set piece to come off. They go to the front. Oh, it bounces off the top. They come up with it anyway. Nicely taken in there by Tuafi. Filippo. Falali comes in. A little bit scrappy at the back again as Samanea now takes him towards centre field. Well, the CEO is calling for it wide, but they decide to take another forward hit up. Oh, RC, it opens up for him, steps off his right, gets a ball away. Oh, they're so close. Yet so far, Filippo is calling for it on the left side. As they pick and drive. And that's a penalty to Samoa. 3 minutes remaining. Quick tack tapen. The ball comes out. Dummies. Goes himself. He's held up in some desperation defence there. They're close. They're about half a metre short. Looking for runners is RC, but he's held up and he's picked up. And the ball is locked up as Samoa binds on. And this could be a bit of a yellow card here for an offside penalty, Tony.
Yeah, it seems to be a couple of, I think he's talking about the high tackle on Sam Slade here as well. But some good footy by Samoa here.
Head down, going for the line, but you won't break the New Zealand line like that. Unfortunate error there for Samoa. The best passage of the game. When they get the ball in that 22, they're dangerous, Tony.
Yeah, they are, and Ussie in particular really threatening around the rucks. We talked about his running game. Jerry Samoa, the big loose head, starting to be a little bit more prominent, and hopefully they'll take some confidence from that last series of play.
So 2 and a bit minutes remaining as the crowd looks on intently. Oh, good scrum by Samoa. They go short side. Para gets the ball and kicks out. NA will look for the quick one, but doesn't go for it as Nareki had a good chase on it. And they're going to take the ball all the way to the 22. So it'll be interesting to see how they go here, what the options are. Oh, the turnover at the set piece. Not what Samoa wanted, so now New Zealand counter-attacking. Big ball out wide, McKay standing on the wing. Inside ball to Clark, and here he comes. The big number 11 kicking forward. There's chasers from both sides. NA may get there. Clark goes without it, and McKay will score.
Yeah, I think Braden Enor there on the support, but again, it's heartbreaking for the Samoan team who have been down here for the last couple of minutes and really building some pressure. They get the line out wrong. The New Zealand team put some width on it. We've seen the gas of Josh Mackay feeds inside to Caleb Clark. He's already made an impact down that left side, and then the chase is on. There's some real gas coming through. I thought Samoa had done really well there with Ussie and initially, but again, that bounce of the ball's just been going the way of the black jerseys right through this first half.
Yeah, certainly has. NA was there. Could have dived on it, or could have maybe attempted there, but it was a good try in the end. Well worked. Gee, that left flank, it's causing all sorts of dramas, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, some really real pace, throughout, 13 fullback in the wings of this New Zealand side.
And he comes in, strikes the ball, and it is way below.
The score is now New Zealand 47, Samoa 3.
47-3 is the score. As we come to the last moments here, there's 2 seconds remaining on the clock. We hear the siren go on the ground, but we're going to get one more play in. Cut nicely in half there, not making too much off that restart. It's a penalty. So they're going to look for the quick tap, are they? They may even look for some points here. Yeah, Filippo points to the post. So they want the points here, Tony.
Yeah, and I also think they feel that if they can get to half time, they really do need to regroup, get that body language back up. Come up with a plan, get them back together, and really is start again in that second half and work out what they want to get out of the game.
Yeah, it certainly has, and it's been an all-round performance by this New Zealand side here again, with their structure working perfectly in the first half. So Coach Craig Philpott, well, he probably won't have much to say, he'll probably just keep working at what they're doing.
Oh, look, knowing their sort of perfectionist mindset, they'll obviously be, working on the detail, around the restarts. They've probably been lucky in terms of the bounce of the ball at times. Maybe some of the skills haven't been as sharp as, they'd like. So I'm sure they'll find 2 or 3 things that they'll want to focus on.
So here's Ricky Ene. As he comes in and he strikes the ball, and it looks pretty good from 40 out. He's nailed it. So ending the half with a positive, the Samoan side. They do trail 47-6. And we'll see all the action in the second half. We'll be back with you in about 5 minutes' time.
Culmination of the Oceania tournament with the last round of matches, with Fiji playing Samoa in the early game at 5 p.m. here at Bond University. And the final match will be Australia versus New Zealand at 7 o'clock. Just a further reminder about that raffle, Bond University's major raffle, $5 per ticket. You can get your tickets at the entrance or next to the clubhouse at the registration table. First prize, 2 return economy flights to the value of $700 to Melbourne to see the Wallabies play Fiji on June 10th. One night's accommodation, twin share and 2 tickets to the match. Second and third prizes, signed Australian or New Zealand under-20s jerseys, and it will be drawn on the 27th of May here at the home game at Bond University.
Playing for each other here, let's do this, eh? One job, let's go, let's do it. It's game time, eh? Let's go to each other, eh? Each other, let's go. If you want that jersey, if you want to go overseas, you prove it today. Alright, you do what you can, you play for the team. We stick to our structure, we do our job, and we play for the guy next to you.
The support on the outside, taking it nicely. What about that? Hikatau goes over.
You want to have a crack at it and just scrum through like that? Come on.
Ozzy on 3! 1, 2, 3!
That is full time here.
Really good things today around defence, and we transitioned well. However, we're there 60% out there. First game, mate. First game. So what we need to do now, boys, is everything we possibly can on a 4-day turnaround to be the best of the best.
Well, we'll back everybody on rugby.com.au and Tony. How did you see that first half and where can both sides improve?
Well, certainly start with the New Zealand side. You know, it's hard to see at 47-6 where they improve, but like I said, I think they'll be looking to sharpen up just around some of their skill set, and and establishing some combinations. Certainly the restarts have got better, but that's an area that they'll be wanting to work on. For the Samoan team, I think it really is just staying in their shape and believing in what they're trying to do. You know, the problem was obviously with this New Zealand side, you miss one tackle or an offload or a loose ball goes to the New Zealand hand, you suddenly you're stretched, and they're just struggling with that.
Well, it's definitely been a good half of rugby here at Bond University for the Oceania Under-20s Championships, live on rugby.com.au. Of course, we do have the Australian game coming up next, playing against the Fijian Under-20s, which will certainly set the scene for the big matches here on a Saturday, live at Bond University. Get out here, support Rugby Union on the Gold Coast by coming out and supporting the National Oceania Under-20s Series. It's the last game day here on Saturday, and it bodes to be a fine day here in a fine setting, actually, on the Gold Coast. Behind us over there, the river, full of bull sharks, I'm told. In fact, the Bond University side being called the Bull Sharks, as we see now the Samoan side come out there. If it gets too hot, do you think you'll take a dip?
Maybe not there after telling me that, but certainly the beaches down here, I think someone told me is about 25 kilometres of it, so it's not hard to find a spot, and it's it has been beautiful. And how good is it to be involved in a 3 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah, 3 o'clock kickoff on a Tuesday at Bond University. Where else would you be, as we see the New Zealand huddle just getting together and solidifying what proves to be a good second half here. As they're taking their time, the referee, Tavita Roccabarini, looking to call them through. The Samoan side waiting out in the centre.
And it looks like the Samoan side have rolled their front row with Samania, Ekinisio and Ilimia going off. And it also looks like Wyatt Setu's out there as well.
Yeah, so a couple of changes at half-time. Both sides. Just getting a handle on it there. Looks like Wickety Stoners is on as well for the New Zealand side. Playing up front. Oh, that's a big hit off the kick-off. Murray, he was casual and he ran into a wall of New Zealand defence, and they've done well holding the ball up, but RC gets the ball out. And again, Ben Sow taking it up.
In the second half,
the defence by New Zealand, they've come out.
Stones is on in number 18 jersey.
Send a message early on to the Samoan side, and Paisami now looking to get some clearance on the kick, and it's a good one. Matoa now gets the ball wide. McKay, good on the counter as they chip over the top. Areki coming through, and Paisami gets around it nicely. They're forcing the pass, so it's a turnover here to New Zealand 20s. Ooh, thought that may have been a little knock on the back there by Parapara.
The Samoa, Ivan Febulaahi is on at number 17.
So it comes back now, Matoa. They've got a bit of depth here, the New Zealand side, and they've got a bit of space as Jacobson gets it out now. And Amunga Jensen gets the ball away. And this is good stuff early on. Choke going infield. Not really threatening as McKay now. He might threaten. Inside ball, and they're not going to stop him from there. Armour for his first. 5 metres out. No one's getting in front of him.
Number 8 for New Zealand.
It's hard enough to stop from about 22 out, let alone one defender that close to the line. But again, New Zealand just stretching the Samoan side with width, going side to side, with good wide passing. And, it's one missed tackle and they get the try.
Beg your pardon, 6. 52-6.
So 52-6 early on, and it wasn't the start the Samoan side would have been looking for.
No, you can just imagine the halftime talk, and Junior Leota, the coach, would have been talking about being accurate. You know, they regathered the kick well, and then the pass from Pasami to Lossi Filippo doesn't go to hand, and all of a sudden they're under pressure again. And really, you know, it's something that New Zealand teams really focus on is that turnover ball. You know, and we know that the try rate from turnovers is extremely high, both with New Zealand Super Rugby teams and at this level as well.
So Marteau from the sideline kicks the ball, and it comes across with a bit of a fade, and it's hit the post and gone under. Can you believe it? I thought it was over. We were willing it over, but unfortunately it goes under the young fly half. So there's a bit of a hush here amongst the supporters at the moment, Tony.
Yeah, I think there's sort of this feeling. You know, I think everyone wants to see the Samoan team, you know, get a try on the board or get a couple of things go their way.
Yeah, the restart there again by New Zealand knocking on, so not getting it right at half time.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity here for the new Samoan front row and scrum. We'll see how they go. It's been sort of a bit up and down the scrums in terms of consistency in that first half.
And already we can see them putting the screws on. It was a decent effort there by the Samoan side. Talia comes off his wing to take a hit up. Here comes Samoa. Going wide now. And he's held up and he's got the ball back. As they go wide. Talia almost being held up as Arce gets some quick ball now. Getting involved. Talia. Didn't see too much of him in the first half. They're not making too many yards here, but they're controlling the ball nicely, the Samoan side. Good defence, though, by the New Zealand under-20s. Now they drive forward. They get over the advantage line now. And that's a penalty, so very good passage of play there for the Samoans.
Yeah, and good to see, I mean, Tanielu Talia, you know, he had 3 touches in that phase, and yeah, he's been playing on the wing, but he's probably more comfortable in that midfield position, which is where I think he's moved to now.
As we hear Filippo talking to the referee, opting to take the kick at goal there.
Yeah, again, you know, just with the way Ricky Ino's kicking, he's a good chance of nailing this. It's a bit more reward for some good play. Also just gives that Samoan team another chance just to get their composure, work out what they're going to do next, get some control.
And you see on the bench as well, looks like Ledger maybe just about to take the field, as is Falcon, so we'll see. We see them both warming up on the sideline closest to us here.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see Umanga Jensen or Eno play full 80 after, you know, sort of long term injuries.
So he strikes the ball nicely, and the flags go up again. So 52-9 the score. And it's a lot of penalty goals if they are to catch up. So let's hope the Samoans can turn it around and get some tries on the board coming up here.
Yeah, so Ledger on for Umanga Jensen, and they'll be really pleased to get Thomas back on the field after such a long time out, and yeah, he can be happy with his effort today.
So the restart now, they go deep again, the New Zealand side. That's worked well for them all day as Murray juggles the ball off the chest and then gets the clearing kick up the field and gets it to about the 30. So now a good chance here for this New Zealand under-20 side to put some more points on the board. They need to Stiffen up the defence there. I can see Ben Sau coming out. As they go to the back, that's a well-executed set piece there by New Zealand. Here comes Ledger, immediately making an impact. That's a penalty, holding on to the ball. Nice work over the ball by the Samoan side. And that's the best defensive piece of play we've seen by them today.
Yeah, Auburn Ledger actually probably caught his own team by surprise there. He really took off. He's a player that plays well above his weight. You know, someone that can play 10 and 12. But good defence by Samoa there.
Almost keeping it in there was Clark. He did well, he got up. He's a big man, isn't he, Clark?
Yeah, he sure is. And considering he's actually under 18, he's got 3 years at this level if he wants.
If the selectors do choose to keep him there. As they go wide again. He's off his wing again, was Talia. But he's lost the ball this time. He's had a couple of good carries this half. But not to be this time as they look to counter. Immediately. Bit of space on the outside. As Jacobson gets the ball away, but it goes to nobody. And Matari cleans up. Does well. Support comes around him. And that's one area where they have excelled, isn't it? When the ball goes to ground, there's always 3 or 4 New Zealand players there. As Ledger now goes wide. The dummy from Mackay. You can go wide, but they go short side instead with a closer option. Para goes the same way again. Nareki on that far side, but it's been turned over, has it? No, the New Zealand side still have the ball. I thought the Samoans may have got a hand to it there. And now it looks to open up as the Samoan defensive line looks to adjust. The quick ball comes back, but they're going to go for the touch line as it goes towards Ene's wing, and it may have been out on the full. Yes, it was so. The ball bouncing Samoa's way. For probably the first time in the match.
I was going to say probably the first time. They haven't had much luck. But certainly, as you said, you know, New Zealand guys, they make their own luck just with that urgency around that loose ball. You see Samoa have actually made some real changes to their back line in this second half. So Piopa, who's at 12, has actually moved into 10 with Talia now being in the midfield permanently.
Oh, nice run up the middle. Farrell getting a ball away, turning, spinning. As Ricchetti Stones backs up his front row partner nicely, and it looks like it's opening up now as Choate takes about 10 metres off the Samoan side. That ball goes to ground by Para. This time Ledger. He has to straighten up. They lose about 5 metres on the play. Yeah, nice tackle by Hassami. Jacobson comes on the flat angle. Oh, he's hit in a very strong tackle. So the Samoan side with a turnover. Knock-on's called, and there's a bit of trouble there. Michaeli too. Looks like he may have injured his ankle.
Yeah, good defence by Okameni Pasami. He was certainly known when he was playing at Mangere College in Auckland for his hitting. Certainly played well above his weight, and I'd be interested to know whether he's carried that on with the Rebels 20s.
Yeah, we saw in the Rebels Super Under 20s in the championship there, he was so solid in the midfield. And I remember the game at Amy Park against New South Wales, and he kept them in the game with his defence. Such was the hitting power from the midfield.
And he's one of those players that, you know, and a couple of the New Zealand guys would have played with him or against them, and he's one of those players that you do sort of keep an eye out of the corner of your eye, because, you know, he can come in from anywhere and put those shots on.
And Tian Falcon is coming on in number 23.
So Tian Falcon coming to the field here. He started the game the other night, did well, and Matoa, he had a really good game here today. Of course, his family listening on in New Zealand.
Yeah, his family are great supporters of Sharan. They've travelled all around the country supporting him, and it was a great experience. You know, Sharan's only under 19, so he's eligible again next year. And, you know, he can be happy with that outing today, especially with the standard that Falcon set the other night.
Yeah, he certainly guided the team around very well and kept with the structure here today, which is what Coach Craig Philpott wanted for this New Zealand under-20 side throughout the game here.
And when you look at the selection of this New Zealand side, there's 4 or 5 guys that are all comfortable in that number 10 jersey, you know, with Mackay, Ledger, Falcon, Mātaui. So, plenty of ball-playing ability.
So they cut out Oz there and they kick through to Paisami. Paisami picks it up and gets a one-handed ball away. And here comes Samoa down the far side. The captain, Filippo. Ball inside. No look. Someone had to get it, and unfortunately it was the New Zealand side. Great passage of play down the left side, though. They're camped down their own 22 now, New Zealand, but a great clearing kick as Ene looking for the quick one to himself, goes for it. As Paisami, he loses his footing. Unlucky there because they were short if they had got out wide, the New Zealand side.
Yeah, just a little bit of indecision on that quick throw there, and unfortunate for the error, but some fantastic play from that set piece. I've worked with Taniela Talea for a long time, and even the little kick surprised me. So a nice little variation. They would have expected him to carry there. Picked up, and you saw Lossi Filippo speed out on that left flank.
So Ahim coming on the field now in the 19 jersey. They've got a pretty good bench here, the Samoan side. They're obviously not as deep. They don't have the depth of the New Zealand side, but they've come on and they've done a pretty good job in both games. They saw them come on the other night in the Australian game, and they really took it to the Australian attack. As Ledger now punches the ball downfield into some open space. As Ene has plenty of time in the end and gets the nice ball downfield. I thought it might have got a bit more distance on what the touch judge has actually given him there. But not much room to work on the angle.
Yeah, you're talking about the Samoan depth. You know, they've been in camp for a long time and been in Samoa, so certainly been working on that depth and getting that conditioning right.
So Ledger with a short ball. Looks like Falcon playing outside in the centre role here today. As Mackay. He looks dangerous every time he gets the ball. As the space opens up on the wing, and Filippo comes from behind there. That's a penalty. So nice work by the captain, Filippo. His defence has been superb from the wing here today. Yeah,
he's certainly led by example in that area, hasn't he? And you're right there in terms of Falcon is playing outside Auburn Ledger at 12. Falcon played a lot for Hawke's Bay at Mitre 10 Cup outside Ehi West, so he's pretty comfortable in that 12 position, as is Auburn Ledger in the number 10 jersey.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the dynamic plays out. Ledger, of course, a bit more direct in his running, isn't he, than Falcon, so we may see him taking on the line a bit more than Falcon, who's a bit more of a natural distributor of the ball.
Yeah, he certainly managed the game well on Friday, and his kicking game certainly caused Fiji a lot of problems.
The ball going over the head of Talea. He's very strong, but he's only held up by a good tackle by Ledger. He's around the ball, Ledger. The Samoa tried to get around the ball, and well done. Great defence by the New Zealand side. It's strong, powerful stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously something that Corey Brown and the defence coach have been working on. You could see quite often the New Zealand team have looked to stack up and try and keep the ball carrier off the ground and get that turnover through a maul.
Parapara has the ball, feeds it, nice scrum by the Samoan side that time. Ledger, Falcon, looking for around the corner pass, but wrapped up by Paisami. And the knock-on's called back. So the draw and pass really was the option there, but trying to get a little bit tricky was Falcon.
Yeah, pass was probably gone once he had dummied and decided to go. But can't be too critical. The error rate from or turnover rate from the New Zealand side must be pretty low today.
A couple of changes now.
Yeah, Taniela Talea's come off. He's had a big last sort of 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, the second half's been enormous so far. I was surprised at the change. He's been making some good inroads. Oh, coming around there. Oh, the intercept, Nareki. The ball was an absolute speculator. And the penalty's been called. So RC looking for the quick one. He's going to be called back, and then so just hold on, little fella. We're going to go for a line and get up the field, and that's a good kick, getting them over the halfway. That's a great kick, in fact.
Yeah, good kick. Yeah, a little bit predictable here by the Samoa side, and you don't want to give Jonah Nareki too many opportunities. But again, you know, Samoa have been pretty good on that post-tackle situation and won a couple of turnovers in that area.
Yeah, just the execution again has let the Samoan side down here today. Everything else, their defence like that is awesome. Pasami coming in, cutting him in half. So the defence, they've got that right here today. It's just the execution, the last pass has let them down, forcing some errors and some turnovers. And the scoreline 52-9 doesn't really reflect the contest.
No, look, I think what we've already sort of alluded to is it's just that New Zealand's ability from turnovers, and really capitalising when they've had opportunities. But good to see the Samoan team, playing with a bit of confidence now and sticking to their structure.
So scrum turning, and they go towards NA. Filippo running through on the ball. McKay's going to have to get there. So's Nareki. Bit of pressure. Oh, inside. Oh! He's taken over. Arce. Oh, he's got the ball down. How did he manage that? Well, we'll get a look at the replay. But he has defied gravity to get this ball down on the far side.
Yeah, it was good kick through by NA, good pressure by Filippo. Jonah beats him to the ball. Well, that's a great finish. And for once, one of those loose balls goes in the favour of the Samoan side.
It's almost as though he bent his arms around at right angles to get that ball within a skerrick of that corner post.
Yeah, not too sure. You can have ambition, but I'm not sure the coach will be too pleased with that offload.
Yeah, the round the corner flick pass generally works when you're facing the other way.
But again, just shows, where the game's going and just the finishing ability of some of these players now in seemingly impossible situations.
That's as good as you'll see in any level, anywhere around the world. And you've seen it live on rugby.com.au on the Gold Coast. Oh, and the kick from the sideline. The crowd goes up. The big Samoan contingent here is loving this.
Yeah, and I think Ricky Ene's loving it too. I watched him kick from a similar spot, the captain's run yesterday. And he just loves the game. He just seems to enjoy everything he's doing, whether it be games, training, or no matter what part of the game it is.
Yeah, certainly a try the Samoan side deserved in this match. Craig Philpott will probably not be happy with it, but the Samoan side, on the other hand, they're enjoying their day out here at the Gold Coast now. I say he's been electric since he's been on. He's caught that time. Ball comes back. It's a little slow for Pasami, and it's kicked downfield, and he will find Clark, and Clark goes for the quick restart. As Falcon's back there, stepping back towards his forwards, looking for support. Might not need as he cuts them up the middle. Finds a little bit of space and accelerates. A little box kick over the top, but that'll be a penalty for the infringement there at the breakdown. Diving over.
Yeah, again, just that New Zealand, quick throw, those quick transitions in terms of, quick throws, quick taps, turnovers, just causing Samoa some real, just putting them under real pressure, really, and stretching the Samoan defence.
Nice kick there, finding touch about 15 out.
It looks like Jacob Pearce has gone on for Marino Mikaeli Tu'u, so expect Sam Slade to move to the side of the scrum.
Their Pierce on. Let's see what the New Zealand side decide to do here. They go to the back, looking to drive on for the ball. No, a little set move. Jacobson off the back. Here comes Jacobson, the captain. Nicely done there by Samoa. All over that ball. And New Zealand under-20s with nothing to do but clap the turnover.
Yeah, again, Wyatt Setu, he's had a couple of really good turnovers post-tackle. And you saw there Luke Jacobson off the tail of that line out. And that was something they used a lot last year in Manchester. And Luke Jacobson was really effective in that area.
We haven't seen him carry the ball too much here today, to be fair. We saw him the other night. He put his hand up every time they had the ball. But he's always effective and damaging when he has it. And this ball stuck in the midfield. RC looking for the penalty, asking for the penalty, and receiving the penalty. Great halfback play there.
Yeah, I think a lot of the halfbacks have been watching TJ Perenara in terms of how to make friends and influence referees.
He's certainly the best exponent of it at the moment, isn't he? Even playing in a breakaway, as we've seen him do. Talking to the referee there too, but not pushing.
Well, look, I think we're all there to help.
Samoa coming late into the line-out. Oh, the ball turned over though. It wasn't going to be straight. I believe it's Jacobson now. Oh, he has a loose carry, so it's a turnover, so they get away with it there, Samoa. And they go wide with another speculator. Brought down. I thought if he had advanced the pass, one more past the left, there's a bit of space as they go up the middle. Good positive stuff now from Samoa. The substitutes have really lifted the game. Solipo passing wide. Oh, good defence there by Clark. Solomona had nowhere to go. Looking for it now as Pasami. Dummies gets through. Oh, nice offload. Cut down there. They go wide again. Looking to use the width of the field. Not making too much in metres. But the referee will call it back for the knock-on. With 17 minutes remaining here.
Yeah, not too much in metres, but, they'll take confidence. A couple of offloads sticking there, getting through a couple of the plays that they've been working on. So, they've got to take some confidence from that and just keep building on, those positive parts of their play.
As we go back now. Nicely run there by New Zealand. Para had to reach for it. The gap opens up. Don't know what sort of step you'd call that, but he had everyone watching him. As Nareki now straightens up. Nareki with no one to beat. They're in chase, but no one will catch him. A well-deserved try for the winger. He was very involved in the first half. Hasn't had many touches in the second half, but that's a great try under the steps.
Yeah, started off with Hawiti Parapara. Just a bit of footwork in and around the scrum, and then the Samoans a bit slow to get round in their defensive shape. And, Josh Nareki, sharp left foot step. You see here. Loose ball again, just picked up, sharp left foot, and he's gone.
Yeah, Paisami was coming across, wasn't he, in the big left foot step. This Falcon's going to casually drop kick this over by the looks of things. Aiming for the New Zealand analyst on the hill.
And a couple more changes for the New Zealand side. JP Sauni, who actually spent some time with the Samoan side a couple of years back. He's on at hooker for Armour, and Adrian Choate will be pleased with that. Adrian's had a great progress from one of the 1B schools in Auckland, Liston College, and come right through and really deserved this place and opportunity in this New Zealand team.
So 15 minutes remaining now. With a restart here for Paisani. They had a very solid second half in defence and a wobbly looking restart. We'll come back. Para gets the clear and kick downfield. Plenty of time as NA now looking to counter-attack. And here they come now, Samoa. Kicking to the corners for the exits out of the half, and it comes over. And they'll go for the quick one. No, they won't. The dummy's thrown. And they're going to take the line out on their own 22. So they haven't been tested too much coming out of their own half here, New Zealand under 20s. It'll be interesting to see how they play out.
Yeah, that's right. And you see Matoi's gone back out there as well. So that I think that gives us 4 first fives out on in the New Zealand backline now.
Well, Jacobson taking some heavy contact midfield. As Legend now looks to play wide, and nice quick hands there. Clark maybe held up here in defence. Great strength shown by Samoa, but equally strong by Clark getting to ground. Now they look to drive forward. And this is great phase play. Oh, that's not the best pass by Para. And now it opens up, and it's called back. Solopo, the big head goes backwards. He was in some space.
Yeah, good read, unfortunately, just a bit of a knock on there.
Not on, says Solopo.
So I think both teams have completely cleared their benches now with Ezekiel Lindemuth at loose head and Dalton Papali at flanker.
It's Piotr out there getting some attention. Ramping up here. And the sun setting behind us here at Bond University. Of course, this game live on rugby.com.au, Oceania, YouTube as well. If you do want to come to the game here at Bond University, it's a wonderful facility. The crowd's right into it. The game's also on Saturday. Of course, if you're coming home late from work, there is another game here tonight. Australia taking on Fiji in the under-20s. It promises to be a cracker of a game as well.
Yeah, look, great games in their own right, and an opportunity to see a lot of players that we're obviously going to see and hear a lot about for a long time to come. So a really good opportunity to see them live, and just playing with that freedom and that expression and positive intent that they've got.
And speaking to the organisers of the tournament as well from Oceania Rugby, looking to expand the tournament too. As the ball comes wide now, here's Mackay chipping over the top. And A comes up, nice bounce into his hands, but he can't carry the ball. Mackay comes up with the ball again. The ball has to come to left. If they want to get over the line, they might not have to. As all the Samoan players struggling to get back on side here. They pick and drive. It's a turnover. Nicely done there by NA. The clearing box kick as Falcon loses the ball in the sky. It was high. Now he looks to counter-attack. Has support on the outside, and what defence there midfield. Here's Clark. Clark with a bit to do. Gets to round one, and under Paisami there to make the tackle in the end. Oh, the pass is there. I thought it may have been 4, but it was great hands by the front three. Oh, look at the hold on there by Jacobson. That is a silky smooth line from the captain there.
Try to the skipper, Luke Jacobson.
Yeah, nice try
That's
there.
The 10th try scored by
That's
New
the
Zealand
small plays and skill sets that they would spend hours and hours of with this coaching team and through the camps and preparation.
16.
Nice little tip ball there to Jacobson, who runs the line on the inside shoulder and finishes off.
We'll see the replay here. Just the drift across field and the unders line. Off the shoulder, straight into the attack, and the Samoan defence just didn't make the read that time.
be fair, Kamara Parapara did well to get there. He was a bit slow to get up after they'd attacked off the scrum on the midfield. He got hit fairly solidly by Hunter Pasami and took a while to get his breath back.
By Town Falcon, 66-16.
Gets that one over at 66-16. You're at Bond University, live on rugby.com.au. Just a tick over 10 minutes remaining in the second half here.
And Samoa want to keep their focus here. It's been a much more competitive second half, and they'll certainly want to finish off the next 10 minutes and take some confidence into the Fiji game on Saturday.
Oh, that ball bouncing. Filippo coming through, but can't come up with it. Again, he's hustled well all day. Does the same. And now New Zealand looking to play out of their own 22. They did well, playing almost 100 metres there on the last effort. The ball comes wide to Falcon, and Falcon with a long ball out to Clark, who has a bit of space, turning Pasami inside out. Making good 40 metres on that. That ball not finding its intended target.
No, again, just see how sharp Caleb Clark is here. Just trying to work through the teams here. I think New Zealand are now playing with 14. Mato has come back off. I'm not sure whether that's an injury or whether it was just a dodgy sub. But New Zealand side down to 14 for the last 10 minutes by the looks.
The only dodgy sub I've had today is the one, the foot long. I got earlier on. The ball coming out now, the ball widely played. Oh, good bodies in motion there by Samoa. Just can't get through the other side. Murray. And Setu. I see. Good hands here. Now it's on. Salipo. We saw him in space before. Stepping on the inside. Sarafi with a nice clean out there with his second row partner. Well, that's a lovely wide ball. As they turn the play back on the inside, they need to show some composure here, the Samoan side. Here's Pasami. Talk about composure. The chip over the top. And Filippo will score a lovely try.
Yeah, and certainly a popular one with the crowd. And they've deserved that in this second half. They've played some good football, and that was some really good build-up. Some good ball carries, some offloads that stuck. They played attack with some real discipline and structure there, and a nice little chip kick. And geez, didn't Lossi Filippo come from nowhere?
There's a little chip over the top, mate.
Yeah,
I certainly didn't expect it, and neither did New Zealand.
No, and Hunter Pasami, we've talked about his defence and his hard hitting, but he's a skillful young player. He's comfortable at 10, 12, 13, 15, and he'll certainly back himself, and he'll always try things.
Coming in, strikes the ball again, and the flags go up again. 66-23. Puts a bit of value and a bit of respectability on the scoreboard. And as I said before, this game, although it's 66-23, the score is not indicative of the contest. It's just that the New Zealand side have executed probably better at the end than the Samoan under-20 side.
Yeah, and if my dodgy maths is right, that's 19-17 in the second half. So, and I think that's a better reflection for the Samoan side, and certainly they can take some confidence out of the game. They were looking pretty low, and a lot of their sort of confidence had gone at half time. So, they've come back well.
Well, you've counted well. Our producer gives the nod. So that's correct. How are you at counting cards? We might hit the casino tonight. As the ball goes out wide to Filippo. Little kick for himself. Bounces up and can't go with it. Now they come wide. New Zealand looking to attack the edge now and playing a good width, but Samoa over the ball. They come up with it. The ball pops out to Ledger. Ledger shrugs one off and he's strong in the tackle again, getting to ground again. There's 3 or 4 New Zealand players around him. Para fires one out. Slade goes to ground. Right, looking to take some pressure off his forwards with a run in the midfield. Jacobson winds up, dummies on the inside. Makes about 5. Oh, what about the hit? Mackay will field that all the way back to New Zealand across the shaky Isles. We might get a replay on that one because that's the hit of the tournament.
Yeah, Lossi Filippo, he's put plenty on, so he's already set a pretty high standard around his defence. And he's just got that absolutely perfect.
Yeah, certainly, and with a second effort on the ground too. Aggressive coming off the wing again was Filippo.
And I think that'll be one of the challenges for the Samoan coaches in terms of how they get the likes of Filippo and Talia in the game as consistently and getting them involved as much as possible.
He's got very good skills as well, Filippo. It would be interesting to see how he actually went in the 12. There's a centre pairing there for Pasami.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of their big challenges. They probably, most of those backs probably prefer the midfield, so it's nearly a back line of midfielders.
12s and 6s, and the penalty for Samoa. I thought it was a well-worked set piece there by New Zealand, but my thoughts mean nothing out there, Tony. He's had a good game, hasn't he, Tavita Roccabarini, the referee, the young referee out there for Oceania?
Well, and I think the biggest compliment you can give a referee is, when they sort of haven't had a massive impact on the game, and it's certainly a very challenging role these days, with the pace of the game. And no, I think you're right. I think he's managed it. The game's flowed really well.
Ball off the top. And again, New Zealand come up with it. And Slade makes nice meters. And he's driven back that time, but they get the ball to the side. And here comes Lindemuth. Ezekiel Lindemuth with a try. A runaway freight train, so to speak. And that's unfortunate there for Samoa. They look good with the ball.
Yeah, and I think Ezekiel's as surprised as I am. More known for his scrummaging and hard carrying, and found himself in a bit of space, loose ball, and just took off. And that's what happens. He didn't think about it. He just got it, went straight away, and he'll be talking about that all week.
He certainly will. The distance will probably grow from the 30 to the 50 to 80 out.
That's probably already about 6 times longer than his longest previous, so that's not a bad start.
He looked like a gazelle in full flight there, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm probably doing him a disservice. He again, like a lot of the props coming through our system, started in the back row, and was moved to the front row by a man called Jeff Moon, who knows a thing or two about front row play, and he's gone from strength to strength.
So Falcon with the kick, we know he's accurate, and he certainly is again that time.
Successful conversion by Tian Falcon, 73-23.
And that may almost be the record in the Oceania Under-20s Championships for points scored. Para with the ball downfield. Not making too much on it. So there's less than a minute remaining, of course. Coming up next on rugby.com.au is the match between Australia and Fiji. Don't miss it. Wherever you are, Australia, indeed around the world, you can watch live on Facebook, of course, their website, and Oceania's YouTube page as well. Kick downfield. Solomona picks up nicely, but he's under some pressure, does well to get out of it, but he's held up in the tackle. As they drive forward, this is going to be a scrum now to New Zealand with probably the last attacking opportunity here in the half. How do you see it going?
Yeah, I think you've got to have a crack again. I've been really impressed with Sam Slade. You know, he was called in again to start after starting the other night, and he's had a big game. You know, and had some big moments defensively, and you know, he's been successful in that stack tackle a couple of times.
Yeah, definitely. He's been one of the highlights, and of course, in the first half, I thought the fly half Matali, he was probably one of the best out there as well. Getting the place quite early on in the second half. The ball spits out and going round the corner there was Para looking for a bit of space on the short side. Not finding it. Here's the man you're talking about, Slade. With another good run. Getting the back on the front foot. As we hear the siren go here, and coming through the other side was Papali. And that will seal the deal, seal the day.
12 for New Zealand.
As the
Right on the
referee.
stroke for full time, Dalton Papali, number 20.
And get the kick to come. Who was the best out there for you, Tony?
Oh, again, you know, it's hard to pick, and I wouldn't want to be the New Zealand selectors having to narrow this team down for the Junior World Championship. You know, we mentioned Sam Slade. I thought he's been very good today. He's worked hard. Really good to see Braden Enoll back out there and getting a full 80. And I thought Josh Mackay certainly looked sharp from the back.
So they break the 80. It's 80 to 23 here on rugby.com.au. Thanks very much for tuning in. Of course, the next game's coming up in about 15 minutes' time with Australia taking on the Fijian side. Thanks very much, Tony, for all your help. We'll see you again on Saturday. I'm Gareth Lozic, and I'll be back with you with Sam Phillips for the next match.